Hello, my name is Anna Troy, and in the SCA I am known as Lady Anna de Bix, and I am the current Edelweiss Herald, that is the internal submissions herald of the Kingdom of Drachenwald. In this film, I am going to show you how you can add a picture to your device submissions form, and it'll also work if you want to submit a badge. I will also show you how you can design a picture. First of all, it's a good idea if you already have a finished design, because in this method, everything should be pre-filled out in the submissions form. So I am using the one that I've used in the other films with my Romborg Philipsdotter, and she wants a golden lion on a blue background, and she wants a silver border up top. So that needs to be written here. And if you don't know how to do that, you can either ask a herald to help you, or you can leave this blank, and the Kingdom Heralds can help you out in the second stage of submissions when we are looking at the different submissions in the monthly Kingdom internal letter. So here we go. A blue background as Zur, and a golden lion, a lion bent and a chief argent. So that is finished, and what we're now going to do is we're going to convert this into a picture file that we can then edit. The result that's needed for the submission, it has to be a JPEG file, because our submissions database, SCA Oscar, can't handle any other file types, and it has to have a resolution of 300 dpi. And with the conversion website that I use, that will be easy to achieve. So then I will close this down, and then we will go over to the different websites. Now I have a favorite, PDF to GPG.net, and the reason I choose this site to convert my PDF is that you can choose resolution on it. Most of these sites have only one resolution you can't choose, and it tends to be too low for submission purposes. So I can take and choose it here, 300 dpi, and then I'll choose the PDF file, open it up, and convert. So you can preview it. Yes, that looks good. Sometimes it happens, not often, but sometimes it can be that the text doesn't convert as well as the picture. It's always good to take a look before you take and download. So now I will download this. And what you need now is a graphics program. It doesn't have to be a very advanced one, but it has to be able to handle layers. I use a program called Paint.net, and it is free, and it has a little bit more tools than Microsoft Paint. And I find it easier to use than GIMP, which is another well-known freeware graphics program. As you can see, it doesn't have to be a very advanced one. So then I open my file here. So here is the empty JPEG in the right resolution. If you see something here that, I have to change something, then you have to redo that on the PDF and then convert it again, because you can add text. It's hard to correct, so it's better to do it in this stage before you started filling in anything. So with your device submission, you need two pictures, one that's a line drawing and one that is with color. So the best way to do this is to start making the line drawing that you then can save, and then you can fill it in with color. So what I will do now is go and show you the different sources I can use to find good images. One that I've found is the SCA Heraldry Illustrated. It has like divisions of charges, field divisions, shows you some very good examples on how the field divisions look. Unfortunately, you can't copy and paste these pictures because it ends up with a bit too low resolution. As you can see, it has the same guidelines as in the form, so that you can use this as a reference. So what I can do now is that I can look under the peripheral ordinaries here, and I can see, okay, so I want to draw a chief. and it's just about halfway between the point here. It doesn't have to be exact by the millimeter, but you get a good idea here. So I will go back here, and I will draw my chief with the line tool. And I want it to be black, and I usually just take 5 points to make it. Okay, so that will be about there. That's okay. And make it straight. Does that look like it's straight? Yeah, that'll be good enough. So, and now I want a lion. Or I could use some other animals. There are some nice lines here under postures. For a lion, this would be great. So if I want to have a lion rampant, I could just copy it here. And I will do that. But before I continue, I will show you the other sources, because this SCA Heraldry Illustrated gives you a lot of good stuff to start with, but it doesn't have everything. So one source, if you have, especially you have something a little more unusual, is the Victorial Dictionary of Heraldry by Mistholm. And this has tons of things. So if I had written lion here, then it kind of is on various words that has lion in it. So lion, dragon, lion, and stuff and different postures and things like that, and some weird things as well. And as you can see, it says period here, because of some of these that can be found in here are okay to be used in the SCA, and that was in 2014, so this is probably okay. This wouldn't be found in a actual heraldic device, but it's okay to use in the SCA. And there's a lot of different things here, so that you can either take and just, if you don't really know if you want to have anything on your device or not, you can just go in and say, okay, I want some musical instruments. What examples are there? And then you can see some interesting examples of things that you might like. And then you can just click on the picture, copy it, save. It can be a bit of a hassle using this. Unless you want to have it just the item and then the background, you have to cut and paste with these things. And then there's another source that has even more different items. That's the Book of Traceable Heraldic Art. This used to be a big packet of paper that you could then use and copy of. It was like a telephone catalog, if I remember correctly. And there are tons of items here. The problem with this is the quality of the art can vary widely. So if you go, for example, items here, then you can see, so some things aren't exactly the nicest looking, and some are quite nice and can be used. And of course, you can always take and just Google an item. For example, if I Googled lion rampant and heraldry, I would have found lots of images. But these are images that we know are okay to use and have a neutral background. Well, I have my lion, and I will go back here. And first of all, I have to prepare this lion. So I'll do File, and I will do New. And in Paint.net, it knows exactly which size it is if it's an item that you want to paste in. So I'll just paste that in there. And then here I have a lion. Now, what I want to do with this is use the magic wand to make the background transparent. Now, there are a couple of things that one can do here. I can either make the lion completely gold, or I could even make the claws red. And even though I haven't written that in the current blazon on my submissions form, well, the heralds we can change that after in the commenting process when you've submitted. Another trick is if you want to have a black animal, you can actually go in and go adjustments, and you do invert colors. And voila, I have a black lion with white outlines that I can use on my device. You have to do some extra work if you have a white background. Then you can just use some light gray and fill in these white lines, at least on the outer edges. so it can be seen against the white background. But as I said, we want to have a line drawing. So even if I want to have a black animal, the original for the line drawing still has to be like this. And maybe take and cut it out a bit. And I will just snip that down a bit as close as I can, and then I'll do Control A, Control Copy, and then I will take and go back, and then I will add a new layer. And I do this so that the transparent background will be of use. Of course, since it's white on white, it doesn't really matter, but it's also a thing of being able to move and resize the image without moving and resizing the whole thing. Because as you can see, it became kind of small here. And I want it larger, so I will take and make it larger so it fills out nicely here. And you want the image to fill out. You don't want it touching, but you want to have it as large as possible. I can take and merge the layers down. That'll also be done when one saves. But if I would take the paint bucket now, do some white, I can just take away some of that gray anyway, just to be sure. So now we have a line drawing of a lion. And if I'd wanted to add something on the chief here, I would have done the same thing. Just added a new layer and added on top here. So, and then I will save this. So now I have the line drawing, and now it's time to color this. What I can do now is just use the bucket, and I wanted to have a blue background, and it has to be a bold blue, so you can't mistake this for purple. So now I'll just take and add it blue, and I have some blue there, and I will add the background blue, and there are some little areas that I have to fill in here. There we go. So now we have a nice blue background, and we want to have the lion gold. Now, gold is bright yellow. You do not want it to be confused with orange. Yeah, that's a good yellow. And if I wanted, I could do the claws red. You can also do that with the tongue and the pizzle here. It doesn't really make a difference conflicts-wise. It's more of a sign choice to make the lion look more fierce. And it's a silver chief. And here you go. You have now created a line drawing and a color drawing to send to your local Drachenwald Edelweiss Herald. This will work just as well if you use the badge form. And if you have any questions, you can just contact me at edelweiss@drachenwald.sea.org.